Emano kora dua pako Kenya, adua pako Pinjwa kena dua pako Jawa. Kiri-kiri. Nyakapaka nyakasongora awonda lego, ani dongwonge. Epinyuaka jango makora dua gulupu minya titiluo. Mos hama ikenya mahera. Hero mosna boma musawa. Ongera Kenya mosna boma. Kenya my people, Kenya my homeland. Hero mosna boma musawa. Ongera Kenya mosna boma. We have the best country. Kenya mora. One Kenya, one people. Kenya mora. Najivunia jamhuri yetu. Kenya mora. Najivunia bendera yetu. Kenya mora. Najivunia tamaduni zetu. Kenya mora. Najivunia muziki yetu. Kenya mora. Chakula chetu, mavazi yetu. Kenya mora. Mosna boma musawa. Ongera Kenya mosna boma. Kenya mora. Kenya mora. Kenya mora.
PPMC Production.
Kisiga papa, Kenya kisa maloba, kisiga tutu, Kenya kisa maloba, kele paikere, Kenya kisa maloba, kisiga jaja, Kenya kisa maloba, muria konya yengola, konya yengola, konya yengola, konya yengola, konya Westani Koyae, Istani Muria Koyae, Koyae, Sotani Koyae, Notani Muria Koyae, Koyae.
PPMC Production.
Ayebaba ngaya sugayarure, ayebaba ngaya sugayarure, tuko bunarero, pero no mogopo, tutika totenge, tengera suga, tugenge yugoja, na bomogaka, manyete gotenga, tengera suga, baba, baito, banabane, aye baba, banabane nyambe kinanyarero. Dabaroji, aye, baba. Dabaroji, yamaiga kunya. Abana bane, kinanyariro. Dabaroji, yamaiga kunya. Tata nomuya, aye, baba. Tata nomuya, aye, baba. Oyongi borete yambe kigakubura. Oyongi borete yambe kigakubura. Tata nomuya nabaibori nabaya nebintu bikobora.
PPMC Production.
Ewawe, ene amurembe, emusaya mwezi kwicarana, sangalire sambo yekwe, enalo ine yakababasa. Kuje. Ewawe, ene amurembe, ditawirere, sambo, ene amurembe, ditawirere, sambo, eyekwe, were gabuwa, sambo, eyekwe, iwere gabuwa, sambo, ijungu, kambazapa, sambo, ijunguliro, kambazapa, sambo, ebaba, kende mai, sambo, ebaba, kende mai, sambo, mabeka, ewawe, kuje, Kaluya Jamujebe, Yamabane Wasi Jamujebe, Kamabaya Mulembe Jamujebe, Yamabane
PPMC Production.
Kenya yetu, bahari yetu, sherekea moja, tujivunia amani moja, kama Wakenya, tujivunia amani moja, mbele twasonga, mbele, mbele, mbele. Tunasonga mbele, 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 pamoja tuko mbele, 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 twajivunia Kenya. Rangi ni moja, tunafaharia wanariadha wetu, vyakula vyetu na tamaduni zetu. Miji yetu yapendeza, ukiangalia kumeng'aa, mashariki na magharibi, mimi ni Mkenya daima. Tujivunia amani moja, kama Wakenya, tujivunia amani moja, mbele twasonga, mbele, 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 tunasonga mbele, 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 pamoja tuko mbele, 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 twajivunia Kenya.
Kichomege, kichomege, kitorotege, ni siku ya kufua, sote tumekusanyika kusherehekea mali sisi tumefika. Ni mengi makabila ila moja ya taifa, viongozi mashupavu wenye wamemakinika.
Uzuri wa Kenya waonekana, wajulikana, shukrani kwake Maulana, wenye ujenzi wa taifa, sote tunakutana na kujengana. Tujivunia amani moja, kama Wakenya, tujivunia amani moja, mbele twasonga, moja wetu ni ngao yetu, sisi Wakenya sote twapendana, nyumbani kwangu, yani kwako, mimi na wewe sote ungana, tujivunia Hatupendi uchokozi, upenda amani, nchi yenye thamani, upenda biashara, pesa lazima mfukoni, wenye bidii, wakarimu pia wacheshi.
Kenya ni nyumbani, tumekubaliana tuhame, tuimarisha isimame, ili tuzidi kupendea. Kenya ni nyumbani, mimi sihami, tuimarisha isimame, ili izidi kupendea. Wakenya, bara la Afrika pia tuongoza teknolojia, dunia nzima si tumebobea. Hapa Kenya, sura yetu tumebadilisha. Kwetu Kenya, upendo ndio nguzo yetu, capital city ya kipekee. Miundombinu M-Pesa tujivunie.
Wakenya come together, kati yetu toa baria, shetani ya division tuna baria. TF tunajivunia wetu waria, Kenya na kupenda weni wani. Zote usiku asubuhi ya dhuhuri, forever Kenya Januari mpaka Januari, represent to the inner gospel. Weka muhuri, Kenya hatuhami.
Oh yeah,
Kaka mlezi,
hebu tuzikwende Kenya nchi yetu tuipende, na tunasonga tuna mbele. Hebu tuzikwende Kenya nchi yetu tuipende, na tunasonga tuna mbele.
lazima mimi Kenya.
Na tunasonga tuna mbele.
Kenya halisi alafu mzalendo na hisi moja na upendo. Hadisia jina ni tembo halisia, ndovu mkuu kama champesi kutoka wapi, Kipchoge Lupita ni wapi, kani muziki na sanaa ziko wapi, KOT on Twitter ni hatari, basi inua nchi yako uiweke juu, wakijaribu kutushusha tuiweke juu, na represent fully yani kibazu, tambini watu jue nchi hii ni cool.
Hebu tuzikwende Kenya nchi yetu tuipende, na tunasonga tuna mbele.
hebu tuzikwende Kenya nchi yetu tuipende na tunasonga tuna mbele
daima mimi Mkenya
na tunasonga tuna mbele
Saliendo mina so proud Uwa Mkenya hasona piga kukuna Kenya vile uko juu Tushapenya pika kati yetu iko juu Kawaine nyoko shabara barba Watali kusuru Masai Mara Kenya vile tumengara Koteke kama umanyala Tusipia Afrika Kenya Abando umefika Kenya Tawani kwa makasila Kenya Daima mimi Kenya
hebu tuzikwende Kenya nchi yetu tuipende na tunasonga tuna mbele hebu tuzikwende Kenya nchi yetu tuipende na tunasonga tuna mbele
daima mimi Kenya
tunasonga tuna mbele
Roma Street ya Munara Okeria Makogoro Nontontigwene Darimi Feel defeat Kene Koju Tiki Jajame to bless to Komboka never rest Lola Digi Kanero Mambo Kwan Peace, love and unity is all we want Mandeleo Tuko fiti mambo leo Skiza di my youth Kunongoza hizi cheo Panjuka Ikibamba maeneo Bendera yetu inapepea kipepeo Kenya left, Kenya right Kanyaka Jogi Soja Spread out the love Mpaka Ocha
It's your goal fix down Kenya mina shirekea No basics better than home Sisi tuko huru Twajitegemea Come Kenya Yo Let's get together Umoja ni nguvu tusitengane Wa Kenya tuishi pamoja na tupendane Nikisee hebu tuzikwende Kenya nchi yetu tuipende na tunasonga tuna mbele Nikisee hebu tuzikwende Kenya nchi yetu tuipende na tunasonga tuna mbele
daima mimi Kenya
na tunasonga tuna mbele
PPMC production.
Kenya ni makao yetu Kenya ni fahari yetu Kenya ni urithi wetu nchi ya amani upendo umoja vijana tunachapa kazi wazee kina mama viongozi wanawajibika Kenya nchi nzuri hakuna matata wetu Kenya tunaendeleza maadili mema popote Wakenya ni watu wa heshima wakarimu Wakenya ni watu wakarimu talanta zetu zinaheshimika duniani kote tazama Wakenya ni watu wenye talanta Wakenya ni watu wa bidii tazama Kenya yetu yapendeza Kenya ya kutia Kenya ina utulivu wa ajabu Kenya hakuna matata Dunia kile nzima Iwa na mabonde Iko na misitu Nao ya mashamba Yapendeza Kuna tamu sana Mazingira yetu Tazama Kenya yetu yapendeza Kenya ya kutia Kenya ina utulivu wa ajabu Kenya hakuna matata Mbuga zetu za wanyama za pendeza Iwarara kutoka Magengo Mwenyezi tamaduni na desturi zetu Kenya zinaleta uwiano na mataifa Historia yetu Kenya yavutia Pembe zote za Kenya zapendeza Nchi yetu ni jamii moja Sababu ya uongozi bora Kenya Kenya nzima Iwa na mabonde We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy, happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Hey, hey.
Tuwapongeze kwa makofi mabibi na mabwana. Na kwa onyesho hilo Mheshimiwa Rais, ndipo tunakunja jamvi la tamasha ya siku ya leo. Asante sana kwa wote waliotuletea burudani la siku ya leo. Mheshimiwa Rais, ningelipenda tuweze kuangazia macho yetu sasa kwenye runinga ili kwa kifupi tupate makala yake the father of internet, Dr. Vint Cerf, the Vice President and Chief Internet Evangelist, Google.
Your Excellency, President William Ruto, and the wonderful people of Kenya, Jambo and Happy Jamhuri Day. Thank you for giving me the honor and privilege to share this message with you as you celebrate 59 years since Kenya became a republic. Within the next decade, after Kenya's first Jamhuri Day, an early version of what we now know as the internet took shape when TCP/IP, the protocol that makes it possible for computers to communicate with each other, was invented. While the wave that was the African independence movement at that time was pivotal to freedom from oppression, the invention of the internet was likewise pivotal in humanity's freedom to share and receive ideas. Since those early days, I have been working with other stakeholders in promoting universal access to the internet, open standards, and a free and multi-stakeholder model of internet governance. That work brought me to Kenya 11 years ago for the Internet Governance Forum, a trip that I fondly remember and hope to make again. Today, Africa is home to some of the world's most vibrant economies and the greatest entrepreneurial energy. Kenya is one of those economies, and I like to refer to Kenya as a digital sprinter because by continuing to accelerate your digital transformation, you are sprinting further ahead towards economic development and inclusive, sustainable growth. A recent study we've done has showed that the best way to do that is to grow physical capital through universal access to the internet, build human capital, promoting emerging technologies, and sharpen competitiveness through a market-friendly policy and regulatory environment. I urge you all to support the President's plan to invest in the digital superhighway to reach more villages, schools, hospitals, businesses, and homes, and the digital upskilling of small and medium-sized businesses, the youth, creatives, and developers. That's because every person deserves the opportunity to access the ideas, tools, and networks to transform their own lives, their enterprises, and their communities. Google has been a part of the Kenyan dream for over 15 years. We will continue to collaborate and work with you in driving this digital transformation. Thanks so much for listening. And as they say, see you on the net.
Asante sana, tumpongeze kwa makofi the father of internet, Dr. Vint Cerf. Ikupendeze Mheshimiwa Rais, nimwalike sasa Governor wa Nairobi, Mheshimiwa Johnson Sakaja azungumze na kisha baadaye amwalike Naibu wa Rais. Asante Mheshimiwa Rais.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and the Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, Your Excellency, the First Lady, Mama Rachel Ruto, Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua, and Pastor Dorcas Gachagua, Your Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Musalia Mudavadi, and Mama Tesi Musalia, Cabinet Secretaries present, the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Speaker of the Senate, the Diplomatic Corps, members of Parliament from both the National Assembly and the Senate, wananchi wa Nairobi na wananchi wa Kenya, happy Jamhuri Day. Your Excellency, 59 years ago, close to where we stand today, in this county of Nairobi, our flag flew over a free people in a free country for the first time. Your Excellency, in the years before we won our independence, the people of Nairobi were violently divided by race. The colonizers' army surrounded and marched through Ziwani and Kariakoo and Pumwani, arresting thousands of Nairobians, many of whom ended up in a camp near here in what we call today Uhuru Gardens. Your Excellency, some paid the ultimate price there. Thousands paid the ultimate price elsewhere in our country. That is the darkness from which our heroes of our independence delivered us from. Your Excellency, our freedom was bought by blood, and we should never forget that. We can never repay the debt that we owe to those who fought and died for our independence, but as responsible heirs, we can do three things. One, Your Excellency, we can remember and keep alive the memory of the sacrifice that they made to us. That is why we're here, to remember, to commemorate, and to make sure that we hand down that memory to our young people and our children for tomorrow. Your Excellency, the second thing we can do is to emulate them. They took risks, they were patriotic, they came together across the tribal divide without the technology that today we celebrate, but they were resilient and steadfast. That spirit must always remain with the people of Kenya. And Your Excellency, thirdly, we can complete the work that they began. They laid the foundation that we must build on, and we must build a house that is worthy of the foundation that they built. Your Excellency, continuing that work goes hand in hand with the theme of today, of ICT and innovation. Even as we welcome our guests from the Silicon Valley, we want to tell them that Nairobi and Kenya is the Silicon Savannah of Africa. Your Excellency, this country may not be endowed as much as others in terms of gold and minerals and oil. Our greatest asset is our people. Our greatest asset is not below the ground. Our greatest asset is above the ground. It is our young people. Your Excellency, the investment that you're putting into the digital superhighway will go a long a long way in unlocking the potential of these great people of Kenya. Even as we review our curriculum, we realize that today we're in a global economy powered by information, driven by knowledge. The young people in Sigalagala must not be prepared to compete with young people of Singore in Elgeyo Marakwet, but with young people of Singapore. The young people in Machakos are not being equipped to compete with young people in Makueni, but the young people growing up in Manhattan, in New York. This is a global village, and we must give them the tools that they require to compete. Which is why, Your Excellency, and we congratulate you, in less than 100 days, you've launched the Hustler Fund. That should enable our people and all of those of us in government to know that we should not preoccupy ourselves just with those with millions of shillings in their accounts, but those with millions of ideas in their minds. That is a country that you lead and that we represent today. Your Excellency, as we complete the work and as we continue the work that was started by those who've been there before us, we must ensure that we live true to their dream of a country self-governed and not a country that goes into disorder and anarchy. And I want to thank you and the national government for supporting the Nairobi County government in restoring order in Nairobi. Your Excellency, today, our children can sleep peacefully without endless noise from discos and nightclubs. It cannot be that young people cannot sleep because old people are enjoying themselves downstairs. We must restore sanity, we must restore order, and that is the dream of those who are there before us. Your Excellency, we shall continue in that work, and we shall make sure that we create more economic opportunities, even for those who are employed there, by zoning and establishing the right areas for each of us to ply our trade. Your Excellency, also, we are working hand in hand with the national government in restoring order when it comes to our environment. We are glad that we've gazetted the Nairobi Rivers Commission that will go a long way in restoring our rivers, not just Nairobi River, but also Mathare River and Ngong River, and making that an economic frontier for a clean city, a city of order, a city of dignity, a city of hope, and a city of opportunities. Your Excellency, in addition to that, we are working hand in hand with the Kenya Forest Services to begin a tree planting program throughout the county of Nairobi so that we can green our environment and engage our young people in restoring the environment that was bestowed to us. The environment that we find, Your Excellency, is not a gift that we give to generations that come, but it's something that we've borrowed from them. Today, we enjoy shades from trees that are planted by many who do not see them coming up. Let us provide that for generations to come. Finally, Your Excellency, as Governor of Nairobi, I want to offer you and the people of Kenya an early Christmas gift. You have seen the great creativity that has been displayed here. You have seen our arts, our ICT, you have seen our musicians. We want to welcome you to the first ever Nairobi Festival that begins today at Uhuru Park, that has been newly refurbished. There we're celebrating our arts, we're celebrating our culture. Our creative economy has the potential of being a mega employer. If you look at Nigeria, Nollywood is the second biggest employer after agriculture. We have that in us. Our young people have talent. We are showcasing 16 films from today and documentaries shot by young people in Nairobi over this week period. And Your Excellency will also enjoy the food and the vibe of Nairobi County. We want to welcome you. Your Excellency, finally, it is my privilege and my honor to, at this point, Your Excellency, invite the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya to make his remarks on this Jamhuri Day. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of Kenya Defense Forces, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, Mama Rachel Ruto, Speakers of the National Assembly and the Senate, the Deputy Chief Justice and Vice President of the Supreme Court, the Honorable Philomena Mwilu, the Governor of the Nairobi City County, Johnson Sakaja, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors and High Commissioners, members of the Diplomatic Corps, political and other leaders, distinguished and invited guests, dear Kenyans, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, today, Kenya is 59 years old. A 59-year mark is a point of either great joy and hope in life or a point of despair. For Kenya, it marks a departure towards a great life ahead. Since 1964, when Kenya became a republic, we have come a long way. Kenyans have worked hard and built a strong nation, a peaceful and respected nation with a wonderful people and great heritage. Mr. President, I have had no greater hope than I have today. As we build on the progress we have made over the years, Kenya is ready for a great takeoff under the Kenya Kwanza plan under your leadership. Although we are facing several challenges, we'll offer you all the support to deliver to the people of Kenya as promised. If anything, we must live as envisioned by our forefathers and freedom fighters who remain great and dear to us every day. They shed their blood for us into the future, but ahead of us is great work. Mr. President, every year, we have marked this day with new hope and great aspirations as a people. This year, under your leadership, we take a greater leap, not just into our history, but into the future, especially on the singular aspect of technology and innovation. As a departure from the past, where tech economy was a mirage, poverty, illiteracy, and disease was our common denominator. These three enemies made majority of Kenyans slip into a life of great indignity. Your Excellency, today, Kenya has made a considerable progress in the tech race. We celebrate our young people who have continued to make us proud in this space. We encourage them to move with greater speed and dominate, not only regionally, but also globally, just as we have done in athletics. This is a great tool towards human liberation. Mr. President, this cause is indomitable. This is a path to an equal Kenya, where every child goes to school, every Kenyan has food on the table, where every Kenyan has access to quality and universal health care, where every Kenyan has clean and safe drinking water. We are leaving no one behind in this race. Your Excellency, this is the leadership our nation requires in the 21st century as we move closer to realizing Kenya's Vision 2030. We are also set to reap our demographic dividend since the window of opportunity opens in the year 2039, if we are well prepared. I have no doubt in my mind that we are on the right move as a nation. Before I invite Your Excellency, allow me on my own behalf and on behalf of the people of Kenya to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Your Excellency, it is now my singular honor and duty to welcome you to address the people of Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President.
Asante sana. Please, let's take our seats. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Mr. Deputy President and Pastor Dorcas, our Prime Cabinet Secretary, the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, and Mama Tesi, the Honorable Speakers of the National Assembly and Senate, Your Lordship, Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court, and your Deputy, the Governor of the great city of Nairobi, Your Excellencies, High Commissioners and Ambassadors, Cabinet Secretaries, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, na Wakenya wenzangu wote, hamjambo. Wakenya hamjambo. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Assalamu alaikum. Wakenya hoye. Asanteni sana. Mimi nimefurahi sana kwamba katika jamhuri hii ya kwanza kwa serikali ya awamu ya 5 tunasherekea jamhuri kwa njia ama kwa hali tofauti. Today we celebrate this jamhuri in a special way that we have intentionally profiled this jamhuri to be the jamhuri of technology and innovation. We have done so deliberately and intentionally because of the huge potential that exists in our technology and innovation space. And in our midst are friends and partners who today are our guests, and they have come to join us in this celebration, leaders from the tech community and ecosystem. Join me, ladies and gentlemen, in welcoming Kojo Boake, the Vice President of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, that is the Meta community. Tuwapigie makofi jameni. Also join me in welcoming Fulufelo Badugela from MultiJoice. Tumpigie makofi. And Alex Okosi from Google and YouTube. Tumpigie makofi. Na mama wetu Phyllis Migwi kutoka Microsoft. Tumpigie makofi. Na Salim Egos from Mastermind. Let us celebrate him as well. And Aida Diara from Visa. These great people, tuwapigie makofi tena wako hapa. These great people have joined us. Please, you can take your seats. These great people have joined us because Kenya is a country of great opportunity, especially in the tech space. And we deliberately chose that this Jamhuri is going to be about innovation and is going to be about technology. And we did so deliberately for various reasons, which I will elaborate. First, when we went round, the people of Kenya told us that they want technology to drive our economy. And that is why we have decided that we are going to have a 100,000 kilometer super highway that is going to be built to enable internet access our homes, our cities, our towns, and every part of the Republic of Kenya, because that is how we are going to be delivering government services going into the future. Let me also announce that this is a technology and innovation jamhuri because we intend to transfer 85% of the remaining government services to the digital space so that every Kenyan, wherever they are, they do not have to get into any bus to go to get government services or queue in any line to access government services. It will now be possible in 6 months when we finish the digitization of 5,000 government services. It will be possible for Kenyans to access government services from their comfort of their homes and the workplace using the internet because government services will be available on that platform. Let me also say that we intend to deliver our subsidy program on fertilizer, on e-voucher that is going to be available to 1.3 million farmers. And I want to encourage our farming community to register themselves because going forward, our fertilizer subsidy program is going to be dispensed on the internet, on e-voucher, so that we can eliminate brokers and eliminate cartels and ensure that targeted farmers have access to fertilizer. We have also had a conversation of our lifetime, and we have a target of 1 million jobs from our technology space. We've had a candid conversation with our technology and digital space leaders that Kenya, going into the future, we're going to have 1 million jobs, and that is why it is necessary and it is important that all of us understand the importance of technology and the place of innovation going into the future. Let me also say, as we deliver our universal health coverage, our tech community is going to be the space for e-health, and therefore our universal health coverage is going to be provided on a digital backbone and ensure that all health records are made portable, courtesy of technology, because that is the intention of our administration going into the future. And let me say that if there was any doubt in anybody's mind about the power of technology, just look at what has happened to the Hustler Fund. In a record 12 days, today, the Hustler Fund has 15.4 million subscribers. In just 12 days, the Hustler Fund has lent 7.54 billion Kenya shillings to approximately to the 7.4 to the 15 million Kenyans that are on that space. And let me also say that the Hustler Fund has accumulated savings of close to 400 million shillings in just 12 days, well on track to 1 billion shillings in the next few days. It confirms the power of technology. Without committees, without secretariat, that is what the Hustler Fund has achieved. And the good news, and I want to thank the millions of Kenyans who have borrowed on this platform, that today 1.2 billion shillings has already been repaid by Kenyans who borrowed on this platform. And it is clear that two things have come around because of what you have seen on the Hustler Fund. Number one, it has provided a platform for millions of Kenyans who have been looking for an opportunity to save. And number two, the Kenyans borrowing on this platform, they have not been derailed by the rhetoric of those who are against the Hustler Fund. Let me say for the record and ask fellow leaders, my good friends, you are borrowing your mortgage at 3%. You have the capacity to borrow from your bank at 14%. Why do you want to derail the hustlers who today are suffering from shylocks and from predatory lenders, and they are being charged 360%? And you're telling them not to pay money given to them at 8% so that they can go back and pay at 360%. Be humane, be kind, please allow the people borrowing on the Hustler Fund to also enjoy low interest rates the way you and your families are enjoying. Do not derail those Kenyans who have suffered for long from now accessing money on a digital platform that is of interest, that is reasonable. And as we enter the 6th decade of our independence, we can proudly cite many achievements and impressive progress made through our own consistent efforts as evidence that our freedom struggle was neither an empty political adventure nor reactionary born of idle resentment. We gather as a nation to commune with our forefathers who were long-suffering innocent victims of imperial plunder and colonial oppression, yet also heroic defenders of our inalienable sovereignty and valiant fighters of our freedom. On Jamhuri Day, we celebrate the moment when Kenya proclaimed itself a free democratic republic. It is also a time to reflect deeply on the founding aspirations of our nation. And I want to say, while I move along with you, that in the early moments of this administration, we engaged to ensure that the challenges that millions of Kenyans told us in this campaign, we began the journey to address those challenges. One of the biggest and notorious challenge is the challenge of high cost of living. And it is imperative that we have a clear plan. And I want to tell the people of Kenya, this high cost of living, we are tackling it in 3 phases. Number 1, our first agenda when we came into office is to ensure that we encourage farmers to access affordable fertilizer. And that is why we reduce fertilizer from 7,000 shillings to 3,500 so that we can enable our farmers to be able to enhance their productivity in our journey towards making food affordable in our republic. Our second agenda, and I have said this, is that we are going to import 10 million bags of different assorted types of food, including maize, so that we can close the gap temporarily because of the harvest that was limited in this year's agricultural season, occasioned by climate change and failure of rain. And thirdly, we are now in the process of working with the private sector to ensure that we import 300,000 metric tons of fertilizer for the planting season that is going to come from January going into April. Already, 2 million bags have arrived in the country and 4 million bags are on the way. And I want to assure our farmers that we are going to stand with them to make sure that government provides adequate seed and adequate subsidized fertilizer to make sure that our productivity is enhanced so that we can produce enough food and reduce the challenges of the high cost of living in our republic. The second item that we must tackle is the issue of ensuring that we create enough jobs for the millions of young people in our nation. Apart from what we are doing with the tech community, our housing plan, which we have rolled out in earnest, already we have launched the construction of 40,000 units of houses in the last 3 months. And in the remaining months of this year, we're going to launch the construction of 160,000 additional houses across the Republic in our quest to ensure that we have 200,000 houses built around the country, both social and affordable houses, so that the people of Kenya can not only have access to jobs, we can grow our enterprises, and we can ensure that the 6.5 million Kenyans who today live in informal settlements have become home owners. I want to request and ask all county governments. We already have 15 county governments that are working with us on this plan. I want to ask all the remaining county governments to come on board so that we can move together in the journey to ensuring that we create jobs, we build our enterprises, and Kenyans have access to affordable housing. Let me also say, on the matter of ensuring that we have adequate food, our fourth item is to ensure that we transit from rain-fed agriculture to agriculture under irrigation. And that is why we are building 100 new mega dams around the country under our new program of private-public partnerships that will be anchored on water purchase agreements that will be underwritten by the government of Kenya so that we can work with the private sector to produce enough irrigation facilities and also to ensure that we supply and harvest enough water for us to power the engines of our irrigation and transit from the 670,000 land under irrigation to 3 million in the coming years, so that we can also produce enough food using irrigation. Let me also say that under our value addition, agro-processing, and manufacturing sector, our triple program and intervention that will bring on board the Dongo Kundu Special Economic Zone, all the other economic zones, including the Naivasha Industrial City and our city in Athi River. We will ensure that going into the future, our industrialization agenda that has been going down, which has gone from 9% to 7%, we have agreed with our private sector that we will re-engineer that space using the products we have, from coffee to tea to avocado to leather to cotton. And we have agreed that industrialization is going to contribute from our 7% at the moment. We want to move it to 20% of our GDP by 2030, because that is the way we are going to add value to our products, we are going to create jobs, and we are also going to create wealth. Let me also say that, mindful of this solemn obligation to do right, while laying the foundation of a flourishing nation for future generations, I have pursued several interventions since I took office nearly 3 months ago with the urgency, zeal, and focus that the moment demands. Since then, we have engaged successfully to reorient policing operations from a heavy and illegitimate reliance on illegal and extrajudicial interventions, which frequently entailed such intolerable violations as abductions, torture, disappearance, and murder. There is now consensus that a new policing paradigm is at hand, and it is possible to achieve a high level of security for our citizens and also observe their rights and freedoms to the greatest extent. I commend the entire National Police Service, from the constable on the beat to the Inspector General, for the enthusiasm with which they have embraced the changes and enhanced our general security through increased vigilance and improved relationship with citizens and their communities. Before the end of the year, I will be appointing a task force to review the terms and service, the terms of service of our Kenya Police Service. It is instructive to note that the people of Kenya talk to us about predatory lending. And I engaged, when I came into office, 3 fintech institutions on the way forward in making mobile loans more affordable. As a result, there was a drastic reduction in the interest charged on the police service, signaling a new era of affordable credit for borrowers. I also engaged lenders on the need to liberate more than 4 million borrowers from the prejudice arising from being blacklisted under the Credit Reference Bureau framework, which arbitrarily paralyzes their business prospects. We have secured an agreement with the lenders to abandon this punitive approach and shift to a credit scoring system which incorporates incentives for both lender and borrower. Let me also say that under our program on managing climate change, we will ensure that we build our 15 billion tree cover to be planted around the country. We will build it from the bottom up. The Ministry of Interior has the instructions to start with the 45,000 people at the bottom of the provincial administration pyramid, the Nyumba Kumi leaders, 45,000 of them, coming to the 9,000 assistant chiefs and 4,000 chiefs, to ensure that we build from the bottom going up our tree planting exercise to ensure that we reach the 15 billion trees planted across the country. And I want to thank the governor of Nairobi. We are going to be working with the county government of Nairobi in the greening of our city. And we have agreed with the governor that beginning January, we are going to hire 11,000 young people to create the army that will green our city, those that were working under the old program of Kazi Mtaani. I want to ask other governors in other parts of Kenya to join us in this exercise of tree planting, because it is an exercise of our moment to manage the effects of climate change. As you all are aware, we also appointed a working party to look into our education system. I want to say the preliminary report from the Presidential Working Party on Education Reform has been brought to the government, and we have agreed that our junior secondary schools will now be domiciled in our primary schools to ensure that we save parents the huge costs that would go with taking their children to schools far away from their homes. And I have also instructed the Teacher Service Commission to commence the hiring of the largest cohort of teachers in independent Kenya. We are going to hire 30,000 teachers by early next year to provide instruction in our schools. Let me also say a request from Kilifi County that the Pemba community living in Kilifi County that has for a long time suffered without identity, the government of Kenya is now going to work on the modalities to ensure that the Pemba community acquire citizenship of the Republic of Kenya. We are proud of Kenya's consistent record of leadership to advance the cause of peace, cohesion, security, and stability in our region. Under various regional and continental frameworks, and with the support of the international partners, we are deploying our position as a regional anchor state for the benefit of our neighbors and our region. My predecessor, President Uhuru Kenyatta, working under the aegis of the Africa Union, is engaged in mediation efforts to restore peace and stability in Ethiopia's Tigray region, and under the EAC initiative to restore normalcy in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Our interests, ladies and gentlemen, are nested in a dense network of reciprocal diplomacy, which helps our agenda to attract investment, forge partnerships, and create markets for our exports and employment for our young people locally and overseas. In the last 3 months, we have aggressively sustained our pursuit of mutual beneficial endeavor with friends and partners all over the world. We have engaged productively with EAC member states, the governments of South Africa, United States, United Kingdom, Spain, Qatar, Germany, and South Korea to scale up bilateral ties and to explore avenues for collaboration in the multilateral space. We have forged agreements on mobilizing investments and financing in a wide variety of sectors, and we will continue to engage the international community as we implement our plan. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to innovate our way into the future. It is for this reason that with this Jamhuri, we as a nation are staking our claim by rallying Kenyans to begin the work of designing a world much richer, much safer, and freer than the one we have known. Innovation is frequently associated with technology, and we must avoid the pitfalls of viewing technology and innovation as a preoccupation with things at the expense of people. The most consequential breakthroughs in technological innovation have greatly enhanced human well-being. Among the Innovation Week's champions are the winners of 2022 HALT Prize, Eco Banner, from St. Paul's University, who employed the concept of green and circular economy to produce biodegradable sanitary pads from banana fiber. I have asked the Ministry of Education, in recognition of their innovation, to work with these young innovators on the delivery of our commitment to provide sanitary pads for schools in Kenya. The Kenya Innovation Week attracted large global technology firms whose senior leaders made their way to Kenya to witness firsthand the magnitude of the innovation potential of our Silicon Savannah. We have agreed on partnerships to support local organizations in providing opportunities for young people to acquire training and skills on various aspects of digital productivity. We are also exploring ways of making the benefits of monetization of online activity available to Kenyan content creators on more platforms. I have spoken directly to Meta, the parent company of Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram, to monetize content for our digital entrepreneurs that will exponentially multiply their incomes and create employment opportunities for others. I am impressed and encouraged by the power of monetization and remote jobs. This is the way to the future. And I was asking myself, if I was not a state officer, I wonder what the content of my small Facebook page with 2.3 million followers would earn for me daily. As we have witnessed today from the performances that have given us thrilling entertainment, our creative sector is ready with thousands of highly talented and promising young people waiting to seize opportunities to stream high-quality content for monetization. My administration, in that context, will work with all our tech community to ensure that we actualize the monetization that will ensure that these young people get royalties and money for what they are doing in the tech space. On sports, my administration recognizes sports and the arts as a major industry that can employ millions of our youth and help grow our economy. This is why we have moved with speed to get our football back, to protect Kenya's proud athletes' pedigree from doping, and to streamline collection and distribution of royalties from our artists. Through the revolutionary Talanta Hela plan, we will rebuild and monetize our sports and creative industry. As part of this plan, I will champion a grassroots football development program that will see national government work with county governments to invest heavily in youth football. Arrangements are at an first stage to launch a bottom-up football tournament to be contested by under-19 teams from all 47 counties. We will work with our county governors for each county to build a team right from the ward level. This is the first step in our Football Vision 2030, where we will target our Harambee Stars to play at the 2030 World Cup and Kenya to host the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations. Together, let us build Kenyan football from the grassroots of our villages to the grand stage of the World Cup. I suggest to the ministry that the finals of these inter-county teams should be held on Jamhuri Day every year so that we can celebrate the teams from across Kenya. We are ready to take our place as the digital workforce of the world. Our commitments under the digital superhighway component of our plan were intended for this purpose. To underscore our intent, we are today unveiling several cohorts of graduates whose training was supported under arrangements between the government of Kenya and the private sector. Safaricom retrained a number of university and TVET graduates to meet the digital industry needs of software engineering and data. Also, graduating today are the Presidential Digital Talent Program, a class of talented youth selected by the Information and Communication Authority for training through internship. Additionally, it is a big day for the beneficiaries of the Kenya Commercial Bank Tujiajiri program. And finally, the Google Hustler Academy, who underwent an intensive and interactive training program, are ready to begin their journey in a world of work and opportunity that is now familiar territory. I now request all these graduates present today to rise. Hawa ndio wangwana wako hapo. And let me say the following to them. Fortune rewards the bold. I congratulate the young people who followed their curiosity and passion to explore new ideas and possibilities, and are now at the threshold of a new chapter in their lives and careers. I can say that through this disruptive graduation, you have now been granted the power to create, to connect, to innovate, and to inspire. I wish you success and God's blessings. Congratulations. You can now take your seats. Asanteni sana. We also congratulate 29-year-old Nelly Cheboy, the founder of TechLead Africa, who this morning was declared the CNN Hero of the Year for her work in creating computer labs for Kenyan children to access opportunities in the digital world. Congratulations, Nelly, for connecting and inspiring thousands of Kenyan children. As promised, everyone present in this stadium today will get a free scholarship on global entrepreneurship and innovation from the Thunderbird School of Global Management at Arizona State University. It is now time to keep that promise. There is a QR code near you. Mumeipata? Scan and access the scholarship now. A 16-unit course that would have costed you $100,000 is now accessible to you for free, courtesy of the Innovation Jamhuri. I also appreciate the firms and organizations which have stepped forward to support our vision to make Kenya the hotbed of innovation. We will continue to do our part and make such partnerships bigger in future, and you are always welcome to be part of Kenya's journey to greatness. As part of this endeavor, KONSA has started the distribution of 23,000 virtual desktops to Tibets to enable students exploit remote job opportunities across Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, we are committed to support young people in reestablishing this country as the Republic of Ideas and the home of innovation. Through a dedicated startup fund, government will support the most innovative ideas each year to scale up into viable enterprises and commercial brands that will provide employment and drive our economic growth. The government of Kenya will work with our academia to establish the Kenya Open University within the next 1 year. I urge our scholars and intellectuals to play their part in democratizing education and open the way for anyone and everyone to quench their thirst of knowledge, education, and training. In line with the new focus of our national celebrations, Embu County will host the 2023 Madaraka Day celebrations under the theme Universal Healthcare. In conclusion, it is our time to make a contribution that will define Kenya for posterity as the envy of nations and the country that we, our children, and their children will be proud to call home. We also have a task of preparing the nation for its future by equipping and empowering our youth to take charge as leaders in a brave new world through innovation. Let us therefore rally and join in our efforts in the timeless spirit of Harambee to exploit the opportunities at hand and hasten our progress into the future. Nasema asanteni sana kwa kunisikiza, na watakia baraka ya Mungu na muwe na Krismasi njema. Mungu awabariki sana. Asanteni, and may the good Lord bless you. Thank you very much.
Nitaomba baada ya hotuba ya Mheshimiwa Rais tuweze kusimama sote. Niombe tusimame sote tafadhali walioko kwenye uga. Tutamaliza sherehe yetu kwa wimbo wa taifa, na baada ya wimbo wa taifa nitaomba wote walioko kwenye jukwaa rasmi kutulia ili tuweze kutangaza itifaki ya kuondoka.
Ilete baraka tukae na udugu, amani na uhuru, raha tupate na ustawi. Mungu twaomba uilinde Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuwajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Nitaomba sote tulioko kwenye jukwaa rasmi tuwe watulivu. Niombe sasa kumwomba kwa heshima Mheshimiwa Daktari William Samoei Ruto, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya na Mama Taifa Bi Rachel Ruto kuweza kuondoka, wakisindikishwa na Mkuu wa Majeshi ya Ulinzi Jenerali Robert Kibochi, na kisha baada ya Mheshimiwa Rais kuondoka, Naibu wa Rais ataondoka. Wale wengine mkubali kuwa watulivu ili tuweze kwenda kwa itifaki inayofaa. Nafasi hii Mheshimiwa Daktari William Samoei Ruto, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya na Amiri Jeshi Mkuu wa Majeshi ya Ulinzi, pamoja na Mama Taifa Bi Rachel Ruto, wakisindikishwa na Mkuu wa Majeshi ya Ulinzi, nitatoa nafasi hiyo kwake Mheshimiwa Rais kuondoka. Na baada ya Mheshimiwa Rais kuondoka, vile vile Naibu wa Rais Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua na Mchungaji Dorcas Rigathi vile vile watapata nafasi ya kuondoka. Anaondoka sasa Mheshimiwa Rais. Asanti sana kwa kutuongoza kwa sherehe ya leo, makala ya 59 sherehe ya Jamhuri. Baada ya Naibu wa Rais kuondoka, Spika wa Bunge la Kitaifa na Bunge la Seneti pamoja na Jaji Mkuu watafuata. Nafasi hii Mheshimiwa Rais akisindikishwa na Mkuu wa Majeshi ya Ulinzi anachukua nafasi yake kuondoka. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Well, 30-minute speech by the head of state, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, in his maiden 59th edition of the Jamhuri Day celebration, bringing to an end an event that was themed ICT. Over 20,000 Kenyans were here to grace this particular event that just concluded, actually, and just among the issues that the president was able to address, issues touching on the Hustlers Fund, and he did give a figure there on that about 15 million people have been able to access this particular credit facility, and he also stated that it is quite a massive achievement, considering that it is only 12 days since its launch, and yet it is already benefiting the small enterprise traders. And he did also say that this particular fund will be extended, its credit limit will be extended, so as to give more opportunities to the Kenyans who actually need to advance their businesses further. The president also talking about the high cost of living, stating that the Kenya Kwanza administration is aware and alive to the many concerns touching concerning the high cost of living, but also promising that this is just a matter of time before the Kenya Kwanza administration address the issues to do with stabilization of the economy, so as to bring down the cost of living, and in particular through agriculture. Talking about already the government has injected billions in terms of
Msafara wa Mheshimiwa Naibu Rais, Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua, tafadhali uweze kuletwa.
Also the issues in regards to unemployment, promising to employ about 11,000 youth by January 2023. That is just about 24 days to come or less. So the president there really be committing himself to address the issues in regards to unemployment. And like I said, he also talked about education, parading some of those who benefited from the Google online scholarship and challenging them to go and use this particular opportunity to impact those who are not yet, those who actually will need these particular services. So this has been the 59th edition of the Jamhuri Day celebrations here at the NYAYO National Stadium. Earlier on, before the president spoke, we did hear the governor of Nairobi, that is the Honorable Johnson Sakaja, challenging the president to enable the many youth, the many women in Nairobi County to advance their businesses by cushioning them. And also thereafter we heard from the Deputy President, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, saying that the Kenya Kwanza administration is on course in its manifesto towards realization that the country propels even further in its ambition and to become a middle income economy, not just in Africa, but also globally. And of course, this and many more issues being addressed here by the Kenya Kwanza administration, which is
Prime Cabinet Secretary pamoja na mawaziri wataondoka. Kisha baada ya msafara,
after that particular inauguration that happened on the 13th of September. And of course, many more of what happened here, and as far as commemorating the 59th edition, the military trooping of colors that was followed by a series of entertainment, and of course to that particular presentation also by the various speakers led by the head of state will be just among the key highlights that we'll bring to you viewers in our subsequent bulletins. My name is Seth Olale, and I've been reporting here with my colleagues, and be sure of a very comprehensive and detailed coverage in our later bulletins.
Msafara wa magari ya mawaziri vile uweze kuingia, kisha baadaye mawaziri wetu waweze kupata nafasi ya kuondoka.
With Glovo, you have anything you want from your city in your hands. Kama unatamani ugali beef ama fried chicken, order Glovo ujaribu restaurant mpya. Tamu. Kama game inawaka na unataka drinks zaidi, order Glovo ushangilie timu yako. Na kama your little one amemess, dada hapa zimeisha, order Glovo and save the day. With Glovo, unaweza track order yako na kuongea na customer support, which is always available. Download the app and order anything you want from your city. We'll deliver.
Coaches, mmefika. Una maoni gani?
As usual, sina maoni. I told you we'll bring this home during Christmas. Na tukakuletea kikombe kikwetu. Na sasa tunakuletea Krisi kikwetu.
Kila Mkenya ni mshindi.
Raundi ya tindi gotigara botaka imenya sai maiga.
Hosori enyira naende embauke gima.
Wa?
Biore. Na sai mbiana chorete.
Hakino mbogo boli mbaigwana ina boli ga.
Wazimba tagia tinya tichi.
Karo musachi hoteli yeye. Na raroti.
Ombogo tabwatiribaga.
Ngitate mutagochi.
Otaite somoni yaku. Asenge njutaka kitibosoku.
Kurende kende tige ko mutanga kurenda enibo amune yamate yaye.
Ayo monta kwire kiaraiga. Engo kunere.
Tengera eye ticha. Egosori enyekigima. Yaruliriko aseviu sasa bono.
The festive season is near. It's the perfect time to spoil your loved ones. At House of Leather and Gifts, we have over 50,000 items to choose from. Visit us for end-of-year gifts, Christmas decorations, frames and paintings, toys, kitchenware, partyware, vases and flowers, plus so much more. We're located at Kenrel Towers, Westlands, LT Plaza, Kilimani, Panari Hotel, Mombasa Road, Ridges Mall, Kiambu Road, Crossroads Mall in Karen, Town Aga Khan Walk, and Windimbingo Street opposite Jivanji Gardens. House of Leather and Gifts, Kenya's #1 gift store. Over 50,000 items at the guaranteed best prices in Kenya.
Sleepwalking through the afternoon. Sleepwalking through the afternoon. Sleepwalking through the afternoon.
Don't live life on repeat. Enjoy your break moments with Minute Maid Delight, a treat that awakens your senses and fills you with vitality. So fill those break moments with the indulgent sensations of Minute Maid, featuring delicious mango, tropical and apple flavors. Minute Maid, filled with life.
Highway Secondary School is a school that is full of talent. We believe in producing an all-round students. In the civil service, we produce quite a number of renowned people. The father to the current premier of the UK was actually a student here in 1966. And that is actually something to be very, very proud of.
To watch this story and more, download the Citizen Digital app today.
Kenya's #1 app, Citizen Digital.
Na sasa tukifika Usagu, tutakaa wapi? Unajua mimi ni mtu napenda luxury na vitu tamu tamu.
Jaber, this time round ninajenga a palatial home hapo Kisumu. Usanium Investments presents the domain Kisumu, a prime residential property located along Kisumu Mambo Leo Miwani Tamak Road. Introductory prices starting from 399,000. Booked with only 80,000 ceilings. SMS the word Kisumu to 20321 or call 0725 000 222.
Ordering food and groceries online allows customers to place an order at virtually any time from anywhere, saving on time and transport costs.
There are days when you think, oh, leo na deserve, so order a Glovo. Days when plans inachelewa. What if we order a Glovo? Glovo, you order, we get it.
Dial *544# to get your 1 GB bundle for just 10 shillings. Karibu shots na Safaricom. Twende Maju na View Travel. 5 days Dubai or Zanzibar from $600. 5 days Mauritius from $900. 4 days Seychelles from $1,000. 5 days Malaysia from $1,500. 5 days Thailand holiday from $1,100. 5 days Cape Town from $1,000. And Bali 5 days from $2,200. Call 0703-254-254 or email connect@viewtravel.com. To fly Maju, pup.
Sleepwalking through the afternoon. Sleepwalking through the afternoon. Sleepwalking through the afternoon.
Don't live life on repeat. Enjoy your break moments with Minute Maid Delight, a treat that awakens your senses and fills you with vitality. So fill those break moments with the indulgent sensations of Minute Maid, featuring delicious mango, tropical and apple flavors. Minute Maid, filled with life.
Go is about thriving, reaching for the stars. It's about exploring new ideas, securely and safely, from the palm of your hands. It's go time with M-Pesa Go.
Hey, you see now, how's the heartburn? Look now, it's burning.
Do not hold back in any situation. Eno gets to work on the 6 symptoms of heartburn fast. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Say, them tell you, say you can never be the one. But God say, make I tell you, say now you him choose in 1 month, in 1 week. You will sing a new song in 2 days, lesser than you will hear. Congratulations, you're in the glory of God. Congratulations, He has done it for you. And you will come back with a new song to sing. God is good. Yes, you will come again with a new song of praise. God is good. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations. Oh, congratulations. Say what the Lord has done for you. Congratulations. God is good. Them say that I can never be all that I see. I've seen that God is greater than that. Who can battle with the Lord? No, nobody. Who can change